Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we'll be going through the Essendon versus Geelong game, which was a massive upset. I didn't see this one coming. Don't think anyone tipping wise basically saw this coming, and that sort of signaled to me that it was going to be a bad weekend. I mean, I got, I think, three straight tips wrong or something like that. Just wasn't a good weekend tipping for me. As Essendon end up winning 29 to 19, so it ended up being a 2-goal margin in the end, and just got this one horribly wrong. I thought Geelong would offer more, and they just didn't. So anyway, let's get into the video. As you can see here, 29 to 19. And now let's get into the stats of it, and it was the Maddie Prespakis, and I wish I'd gone for her. When you make a trade targets video and you don't end up going for the trade target and they absolutely hit, like Maddie Prespakis has done back-to-back weeks, it is so annoying. It's like, it's almost infuriating with just look at the stats here. Prespakis, here we go. 119 and 109 against two tough opposition. She's going crazy, and now she has Richmond. Yep, and so that was just infuriating going for her, as she would have been the pickup. Parker went down, I think, 50 odd K, 34K for Parker. She went down, and Maddie Prespakis went up 51K. So I lost value there massively. Just a shocker there, and whoopsie. That's something that is always going to be infuriating as a content creator, as you can't get everyone. But when you make a video like that and you're like, this is so good, and then you decide not to go for it for some unknown reason, and then it works out that she is the best player that you probably could have gotten for that price range. So 119 and 109 is just, she's gone crazy back-to-back weeks. Too good again, just one that I missed, and it's just going to be a tough end to the year. This happened last year, I believe, for me. Not this last season that I filmed for AFL Fantasy, but the season before, when I was like 20K or something like that finishing, because I'd had such a bad start. And when you get no cash gen, and you have to try and bit part your way through trying to pick up the best sort of players that aren't sort of that top tier, that next tier, it is so hard to do. So missing out on Too Good early and letting her ride through was one of my biggest mistakes, and now I'm not going to be able to get her, as I just don't have any cash gen available to get to her. Nan scored 95, she was huge, and getting rid of her as well as getting rid of Smith at the designated time sort of worked out, but Smith obviously failed dramatically as she gained cash dramatically. But Too Good, Nan scored, I should say. She's gone on to another level, which sort of sucks. Bannister, 13, 3 and 7, 84, 1 goal 1. She did amazing. Clark, 2 goals 2 as a forward link-up sort of player. As you can see here, 3 and 3. She did really well and kicked the goals. Was hers both the ones that, was she a lead-up target, or was hers the out-the-back goals? I forgot which one she was, but she was amazing there, kicking 2 goals 2. And it was sort of those 4 girls and Prespakis and Nan. It was sort of this main 5 that just sort of, or you could almost say this main 6 with Van der Heuvel that kicked into gear and really put away this Geelong side, which should be doing better, honestly. As simple as that. Prespakis is going to be underpriced next year, honestly, for the way that she plays, and she will grow into being one of the best footballers, AFL, the women's footballers in the game. But I think we're seeing some growing pains at the moment for Prespakis, especially on the fantasy level, where she can't dominate games regularly. If we look at Prespakis here, and luckily I had it on the Maddie Prespakis, she clearly lost the matchup here against Maddie. And you just see here 26, 18, 21, 26, 20, 15, 34. Like, she's had one amazing game this year. And other than that, I know she's getting tagged, but that is something that the men's teams, the men's players seem to struggle as well, is especially when they're young, is learning how to fight through tags. And I think that's something that Georgie's got to figure out. She's 21, and so I think she has a couple of years, but I think she's going to be well underpriced next year. coming in at the moment at 101, but I think at the moment with the way she's tracking, this 147 is holding that up massively. I mean, that's holding it up by about 7 or 8 points at the moment. If that, maybe even 9 points if you think about it, because 47 points would be around 8 points average, which gets her down to 92, and a 92, so she's around that 147's holding it up by about 9 or 10 points her average. So yeah, I think if you look at this I just think there's something there that's gonna click into gear sometime, but I'm hoping it's next year, because hopefully she'll be priced around 93, 94 next year, and can really kick into gear. So you have all that. Van der Heuvel, Kane, Wales 66 is a ruck. Hopefully she kicks into gear. How old is she? I think she's 21 maybe as well. Is she? We got this Wales, 20. So yeah, you got the two Wales girls that hopefully will become some of the Premier rucks. It seems like we have a very young core of Premier rucks in the AFLW, which I think is a very good thing. You got Moffat at 19, those Wales girls at 20. I think Strom is 21. Is she? 22. So she's young as well. So you have a very young core of rucks, which should be good for the future. And you've got obviously the Carlton girls who are older. Alan's even 24 and she's doing well. Rennie, I think, is 27, 29 for Rennie. As we talked about, Moffat is turning 20, I believe. Schultz is 19 or 20 as well. So, and then you've got Fleur Davies, who I think will be on the rise next year if she can fix her free kick issues. And she's 19. So very young rucks. And so, yeah, moving down, Radford, Walker, Clark, Dyke, Campbell, etc. None of these girls really matter once we get below Wales here. As you can see, this sort of line here below I said 50, I think, in the previous video, but I think you can see here sort of 55, 60 isn't really relevant anymore. Then we move over to, and we've talked about Pressparkers, so we'll skip over her. She kicked 2 behind as well, so needs to finish her ISO work. Then you have McDonald here, 22, 2 and 6 for 80, and yeah, she sort of just stalled, I guess. This whole Geelong side has stalled, maybe because they have too many players, as in too many high possession players. So players like Pressparkers, McDonald, Morrison, Webster's even included in that now. Maloney to a certain extent, and Emerson at a certain extent as well. They all sort of just take it off each other, and this is really why the Geelong, and this sort of happens in the men's game as well, is that Geelong never score well fantasy wise. They never really have a really good scorer. So you never really look at them, and I think the same is sort of happening to Pressparkers, is that I don't know whether it's a hoodoo with Geelong or whether it's just the style of play that they have. You know, they were down by 170 fantasy points wise. Pressparkers rarely takes any marks. If we go back to Pressparkers here, Pressparkers, I think she rarely takes marks. 4, 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's 8 marks in 6 games. That's barely anything. That's like 1 and a bit a game, so like 4 points per game. She's a very strong tackler here. You can see 8 tackles a game, but she's just not getting the disposal points anymore that she was in that first game. And that's really what's keeping her back, I guess. So yeah, there's something that's going to click for her, I think, that she's going to explode sometime, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be next year, to be honest with you. McDonald, Emerson, Maloney, Rankin, Crockett, Grills, we've sort of all talked about them. Morrison as well, having a bad game is probably a good thing if we look at Morrison. She went down 97k for that, 1.1 mil now. So hopefully, if I can get some cash gen from somewhere, McDonald's gone downhill she's gone 53, 2020, and then 10. She was at 390k and is now back to basement at 300k, just because she's had a shocking couple of weeks. As you can see here, McCarthy isn't playing. I lost cash on her as well. Trading out Hoare and Everest to hopefully find some more cash gen somewhere. but hopefully I can get to one of the forwards. But yeah, it's just really hard at the moment because Too Good is so highly priced. Alongside that of if we look at average points wise, Hoare is at least going down and Morrison, so maybe I can get to Rowe or something like that. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. I should have just gone to Goldsworthy. Goldsworthy is, I believe, 980k, is she? 990k, that would have been the smart move, just going to Goldsworthy. But anyway, there's that. And that's pretty much the video, as there wasn't much to talk about other than that. I mean, we see here Hoare 42. If we look at the fantasy by quarter quickly, you can see Prasparkas always gets off to a good start, but then fails. McDonald, the same sort of thing. Morrison got off to a really good start, but a 13-point second half, so jump on that. And then you can see Too Good with one of the biggest saves I've ever seen. She's on 31 and has come out with a 75-point second half to save it. Nan's gone here as well, just very, very consistent. 48-47 in terms of half points. So yeah, pretty consistent there, and I can't see any really major splits here that are too different. So anyway, that is the video there, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be the Richmond Gold Coast, I guess, game in which Gold Coast again beat Richmond after the siren, or pretty much on the siren. So yeah, another great game to watch, and yeah, so we'll get into that video next. So bye guys.